Hello, you beautiful being you. It is great to see you back on the mat. This is Yoga with Paige, and I am Paige if we have not had the pleasure of practicing together before. But today I wanted to share with you a nice, everyday, kind of gentle, beginner-friendly routine. So this will work through the body's entire range of motion. It's a very gentle flow where we hit the basic foundational postures. We find some twists, we warm up the spine, gentle little back bends, side bends, everything all included, all in one. This is a great routine for morning time to kind of just get the juices working before we head off for our day, or it can also be used as a little wind down at night. So it's a very versatile flow. And no props are necessary, but if you would like to have any straps or blocks, grab them now, and we begin lying down on our back. Beginning our practice today in corpse pose. Kind of starting at the end here with just a little bit of attention to our breath. So tuck the shoulder blades in underneath the back. And just let yourself hang out here. Just begin to notice your breath. Notice where your mind is at today. Or maybe what you're feeling if you've just woken up. Feeling the belly rise and fall with each breath. And on your next inhale, reach the arms over the head. Really reach with the fingers, point the toes, squeeze and activate everything, all of those muscles, squeeze, squeeze. And then exhale, release the legs, bend the elbows, and come into a little cactus here. So it's kind of like a little angel wings. So our focus here is just expanding the chest. Visualize it drawing up to the sky as it's opening our center of love for yourself, love for others, for the world. Breathe into the space between the collarbones, at the base of the throat. Feeling the lungs inflate, we take one more big breath here. Beautiful. And then gently kick the legs up towards the sky, extending both legs. Coming into a little legs up the wall, getting some blood recirculating from the tippy tops of the toes all the way down the legs. We can keep a little bend in the knees. They don't need to be super straight. Just letting everything flow back up to the heart, up to the head. We're getting things moving here. And then bending the knees so the shins are parallel to the mat. Send the arms up over the chest and hold here. Preparing to activate the core a little bit. So really press the lower back down into the mat. And then tap the right toes, boop, and the left. So just kind of work at your own pace here. Our main focus is sending the lower back down. We feel the support of the mat. And a gentle activation of the abdominal muscles. Beginning to move our limbs. Just a few more. Nothing too crazy here today. Beautiful. Even yourself out. Make sure you're nice and evened out. And then release the left leg down onto the mat. Taking the right out to the side. So first we can hug the right knee into the chest. Big inhale. And then on your exhale, try to find a half happy baby. So reaching for the big toe, the ankle. We can use a strap here to make it more accessible. Pull the leg to the side of the body. So your knee is kind of by your ribs over here. Just a little half happy baby. About 2 breaths here before we switch sides. And then replace the right leg with the left. Finding a very gentle hip opening, letting the right arm fall to the side. Releasing tension where you find it in the body or in the mind. And on your next breath, coming into a full happy baby. So kicking this right leg back up and coming into full happy baby. Really press the lower back down. We're getting a nice little massage for it today. Let gravity pull the legs by the sides of the ribs. You can kind of let yourself flail about if you want to here. Or just enjoy a nice still posture. Nice big full breaths, expanding through the rib cage. And coming into a nice twist next, we can release the left leg down onto the mat. Take the right knee in and cross it over. Kind of peeking over this right shoulder. Taking your awareness to the spine. Letting yourself relax a little. And when you're ready to switch, gently roll onto the back, extend the right leg, hug the left knee into the chest, give it a nice big little squeeze, and then take your twist. Moving carefully today, treat your body with love. Nice deep full breaths. And gently coming onto the back, plant both of the feet hip distance apart, plant the palms by the sides, and prepare for bridge pose. On your next exhale, press through the feet and the hands to send the hips up towards the sky, really squeezing through the glutes, making a nice long line from the knees up towards the shoulders. Not letting the knees splay apart, keeping them nice and together like you're holding a book or something in between your knees. Hold them together as you send the hips up even higher. Big, deep breath. We can stay here. Maybe we want to play a little bit, coming up onto the balls of the feet, or maybe we want to lift the toes and come onto the heels. Taking what you would like, a little play or a little static hold. We're here for another breath. Try to send those hips a little bit higher. Draw the navel into the spine. And exhale, release the hips down, hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little rock to release. A little rock sway side to side. And whenever you would like to rock or roll or gently press up, we meet in a nice little easy seat. Stick with the rocking theme. I'm going to rock myself up. Whoop. And then crossing the feet at the ankles. Take a moment here to find what feels good. Really ground yourself down through the mat. Maybe close the eyes if that fosters more connection for yourself. Rolling the shoulders down and back. Take hands to heart center. Taking one big, deep inhale in through the nose. Hold. And then exhale it all out. Really draw the navel in towards the spine. And release the hands to the sides. Blink the eyes open if you did close them. And find a few little gentle shoulder rolls. So just working through the joint. We can take the hands up if we want to make it more expressive. Maybe they find the knees. Whatever feels good to you here. Especially if this is one of our first movements of the day, if this is a morning practice, really allow yourself to open up and release some of that tension that we always hold in the upper body. Find space for yourself here. Maybe hearing some little cracks and creaks, totally normal. And then on your next inhale, reach those arms up high, palms meet. Gaze at the hands, but draw the shoulders down, still creating space. And exhale, open the hands, draw them by the sides, elbows bend, cactus. So reaching the scapula together, drawing them together. Nice big heart opening here. Taking 2 breaths, maybe wiggle the fingers a little bit, move the energy around. Feel the energy. And then take the hands behind the head, interlace the fingers very gently. Inhale, lift up, elbows reach to the sides of the room. And exhale, gently twist to the right. You're not going to move too far because this is a twist kind of from the thoracic spine. So don't force yourself or don't think you're doing it wrong. Inhale, back through center. And exhale, twist to the left. Keeping the sit bones nice and rooted down. Just twisting the upper body, waking up the spine. Strengthening our back, helping to relieve some pain there. Taking one more on each side. And then release the fingertips down. Inhale, sweep the left arm overhead. And exhale, send it over the head. Big side body stretch. We want to feel this kind of radiating up from the lower hips into the lower back, the obliques. Really reach as far as you can. One big breath, keeping the chest nice and open. Maybe you find one arm circle here or two before lifting back up, coming through neutral spine and taking the right arm overhead. Finding what feels good to your body, knowing that it may look different than mine, and that is completely okay. That is to be expected. Adding in any movements today that feels good to you. Practicing listening to your own gut, to your own intuition. Lifting back up and coming back through a neutral spine before coming onto all fours. Beautiful. So find tabletop in the middle of the mat. Take a moment to spread the fingertips really, really wide, gazing in between the fingers. Plant the tops of the feet on the mat and take your awareness there. Just feel the connection there, the tops of the feet with the mat. Before finding a few rounds of cat-cow, inhale, lift the tailbone and the gaze. And exhale, round, tuck everything in. Inhale, belly reaches towards the mat. And exhale, really grip with the fingers. Taking about 2 or 3 more rounds, but making sure to move with your own breath, match your own rhythm. This is your practice. This is your time to connect and realign. And when you're finished, we meet in neutral spine, gazing between the hands, and then gently, and if this is too intense, please don't do it. We're going to get a little bit of a wrist stretch, and this can be intense. So kind of shift your hips back, turn the hands, so we're on the back sides of the hands, walk them more towards the heel, or the knees, the heels, and just kind of lean back to where you feel a nice little stretch. And this, again, is not going to be too big of a movement, but you will definitely feel it. Might even feel it up the forearms. And if this does not feel good, we can always take the fingertips to the long edge of the mat and kind of rock side to side and work through the wrists that way. We just want to hit all of the joints today. Beautiful. Only about 1 or 2 more breaths. Before we meet back in our tabletop, pointing the fingers towards the top of the mat. Connect to the core, so draw the navel in, ground through this left hand and reach the right out, still gazing down at the mat. Inhale, reach that right arm up. And then exhale, thread the needle, draw the arm underneath, coming to lie on the right ear. Using the left hand to press away from the mat, finding a little bit more of a twist, a little bit more space in the back. Find some ease here where you can with this next breath. And then exhale, press back up. Inhale, reach the right arm. And then exhale, send it forward. We come all the way back from where we came. Still staying here with the right arm extended. Extend the left leg, opposite leg. Flex the foot like you're sending it towards the other side of the room. And as we're here, nice and strong, lift up, kind of rotate through that left ankle joint. So we can point, we can flex. We're doing a nice little balance, nice little strength. Really reaching with the right fingertips. Only 1 more breath. And then we can release everything back down, tabletop, preparing for the other side. Inhale, left arm sends forward. Exhale, release the shoulders. Then inhale, reach it up, find a little twist. And exhale, thread the needle. Staying here for a breath or 2. And then on your next out breath, press back up. Inhale, reach the left hand. And then send it forward. Prepare for the opposite leg. Here we go. Extend the right leg. Foot is flexed. Square the hips. And start to rotate out through that ankle joint. Wake it up. Whisper good morning to it. 1 more breath. See, your abdominals are even getting a little workout today. We like that. And on your next exhale, release everything back in. Walk the hands forward, almost like we're coming into a little puppy pose, but we want to keep the spine straight. So just melt down a little bit, keeping the spine nice and long. We're really gripping through the fingers, so we're getting a nice little shoulder strength and mobility here. So not going down too far. Nice, strong spine. So kind of tuck the tailbone in to help give yourself that length. Reach forward with the crown of the head. Just hold here. One big breath. And on your next inhale, lift the chest to send the hips forward. Come down onto the belly, Sphinx pose. Elbows come underneath the shoulders. We press through the forearms to inhale and lift the chest. Shine the heart forward. Take 2 big, beautiful breaths of air here. Fill up the belly and the lungs with air. Send oxygen to the brain. Exhale, take the forehead down towards the mat. Unleash your arms. Take this right leg, bend the knee, and kick it over the left. So you're kind of coming onto the left leg, taking the right leg behind you, and just finding what feels good here, coming onto this left shoulder. This is going to be a little shoulder stretch. So we can use the right fingertips to press away, kind of find where you feel this. We're only here for another breath. Exhale to roll back onto the belly and come into the other side, extending the right leg or the right arm, coming onto the right shoulder. Use your breath to release and relax. Exhale, back through center. Take the hands underneath the shoulders, connect to the core to lift up and send the hips back, child pose. Big toes together, reaching the fingertips forward. We can widen the knees if we want by the mat, really melt the heart down. Taking a few moments to meet yourself where you are today, whatever that means to you. Accept what is. Let everything else go. The only thing you control are your own reactions, your own emotions. For this next breath, really send the hips back, focusing on finding length in the spine. And carefully lift the head, draw the knees together, coming up through tabletop to tuck the toes. Come stand up at the top of the mat where we can just dangle it out. So reach for the elbows, bend the knees, let yourself hang out here. Maybe even widen the feet, wider than hip distance. Really just give your body what it needs. Just let everything hang out, wiggle it out. If you need to move some energy around, if you're feeling anxious, maybe shake the head, yes or no. Find some circles. And when you're ready, take one breath of stillness before releasing the elbows and slowly rolling up. And finding mountain pose, drawing the feet back underneath the hips. Gazing at your feet though, feeling this connection to the earth, your foundation. Really start here. Draw the line up. Stand up nice and tall. We're here. We're proud. Then inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Maybe close the eyes here, set an intention for your day. If you have a favorite affirmation or mantra, you can repeat that to yourself now. And release the hands by the sides. Open the eyes if they were closed. Ground down through this left foot. Raise the right. And step it carefully back through the back of the mat, coming into a nice big high lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, open to warrior two. Ground down through the outer edge of that back foot. Hands, arms reach out by the sides, palms face down. Squeeze the scapula together as you squeeze the glutes and sink low. Inhale, flip the palm, reach forward and back as the right arm comes down the leg. Big side stretch. Windmilling around on your next exhale, left elbow comes to the knee, right arm reaches overhead. Big long line from the foot to the fingertips. Exhale, connect to the core, lift back up, warrior two. Inhale, straighten everything, turning to the back of the mat. So switch your feet. This right foot now faces forward and the left is angled. Inhale and exhale, warrior two. Changing it up, getting a new perspective. Looking somewhere new over those right fingertips. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, a little extended side angle. Modification. Keep reaching that chest nice and open. Back up, warrior two. Nice and strong and resilient you are. Then inhale, turn to the long edge of the mat, but point the toes to the edges. Coming into goddess pose. Exhale, sink the hips down. Squeezing the glutes, really grounding down here through the feet. We can stay here with nice open arms, or if we want to reach the upper back, we can find some eagle arms. So wrapping one arm underneath and trying to meet palms. Still sinking nice and low in goddess. This is a very active posture here. Use your breath. Focus on the body. Beautiful. One more breath. Maybe sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, straighten the legs, unravel the arms, turn the toes to the long edge of the mat, send the arms out, shoulder height, and exhale, forward fold, finding a nice wide-legged fold. Taking the fingertips to the mat, maybe plant the palms or down on the forearms. Whatever is accessible to you, really grounding through the outer edges of those feet. Just warming up the backs of the legs. Finding one breath here before planting the right hand or fingertips. And inhale, peel the left arm up. Fingers reach for the sky. Big twist. Exhale, plant the left fingertips. Inhale, right sweeps up. Trying to keep the hips square. Exhale, back down. Lifting the chest, pointing the toes to the corners of the mat, bending the knees, coming back up into goddess pose. Find your position here before taking your opposite eagle arms if you took them before. So wrapping, I go this way, wrapping the opposite arm underneath and reaching up, sinking nice and deep. Open up those hips, release that energy. Releasing whatever you no longer need, whatever comes to mind. Last breath. Connect to that feminine energy, that power. And release the arms, straighten the legs. Turn to the front of the mat, gently step it up. Mountain pose. Grounding down through this left foot, coming into a little baby tree. So take the right toes, keeping them on the mat, kind of place the foot at the ankle there, just opening through the hips. So trying to send this knee backwards, hands come to heart center. We're ending this class today in a very tall, strong, proud posture, grounding posture. If you want to take full tree, you are more than welcome. But the focus here is an inner connection. And when you're ready to switch sides, you can do so. Releasing the foot, grounding down through the right, and then taking the left up. Taking what you need for the day, maybe revisiting your intention if you need one. As we come to the end of our practice, a few more breaths in this tree. And whenever you would like to meet in our mountain pose, you can release your little baby tree. And then take the feet together, big toes touch, standing up nice and tall. Wherever you feel more connected, palms face forward, hands at heart center, maybe hands up somewhere, whatever is calling to you. Take a few breaths. A few more breaths to let the mind go before we rush off to whatever else the day has in store for us. Last few moments for you. Feeling your beautiful essence, your unique energy. And may we take one final big breath together, sealing in this practice. Inhaling fully and deeply in through the nose. And exhale. Release, surrender. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today and allowing me to guide you through this practice. I hope whatever else the day has in store for you brings you many good blessings, and I look forward to the next time we meet.